stabbed in business class. I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
A life and death call.
What's going on, Betty? Aircraft is erratic again. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there?
An attempt to avert a disaster. It was just an ordinary day when Betty Ann Ong boarded the American Airlines Flight 11 from Boston to Los Angeles. But soon after takeoff, the plane was hijacked by terrorists. Screams and panic filled the cabin. Ong took cover in the restroom, called the American Airlines emergency line and alerted them before the plane slammed into the World Trade Center. Thanks to the call, the Federal Aviation Administration closed the airspace for the first time in history, and fire brigades were sent to evacuate those trapped in the fire. At the end of her life, the 45-year-old flight attendant made a brave decision that possibly saved many lives and made her a hero. But the pain of losing her has been never-ending for her family.
As the older brother, I always felt that somehow it was my responsibility to be with her on that plane. Impossible, yes, but somehow I wish I was on that plane to help fight those terrorists and not let them take over the plane like that. The other thing was the fact that I didn't really, and I know that this is true of all the family members, that we just never had a chance to say goodbye to her.
The pain was so intense that years after the tragedy, Betty's family still found it hard to accept her death, especially her father.
You know, until my father passed away in 2007, every night he would sit in front of the TV watching CNN News or any of the news stations for pretty much 6 years, hoping that Betty would somehow be back. And we didn't know that. And until one day when my sister came out for a family get-together, this is about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my father's still sitting out there looking at the television. And my sister went up to him and says, "Dad, why are you crying?" And he says, "Because I'm still wishing that Betty would come home." And it's just been very emotional for the family. Even after these many years, there's still hope that somehow she would be back, especially for my father.
For the last 20 years, Betty's family has kept her name and legacy alive by creating a foundation to fund senior and youth programs at a recreation center in San Francisco's Chinatown, where she grew up. Betty is just one of the numerous heroes who exhibited love and bravery on that day. And by remembering the heroes and victims who experienced the darkest hours of 9/11 attacks, we remind ourselves that bravery and love will always prevail. Gerard Vermaak, CGTN.